Hello and welcome to the coaching session from leadershipmentor.com. This week I want to share an experience with you that I had over the weekend, and this is a fairly common thing that I see out, especially in retail locations, and frequently, especially around the holidays like Christmas, where it's a high stress situation for retail employees. This is a pretty common thing if you really watch and observe. But it's talking about how we can effectively coach people within our team. And in a retail environment, we also have to throw in the mix that we do have customers that we're around frequently, and so we have to be aware of that. This is really how I felt after I left the store. I was very, very frustrated as a leader. I felt bad for the team member, as well as really I felt bad for the supervisor, because I believe they just lack that experience. But basically what happened was the store was very busy. The front-end supervisor evidently made a decision that it was so busy, there were so many people waiting up at the registers, that he needed to jump in and get on a register. So he did that, began checking, and I happened to be in his line and was the next customer. And in the middle of this order, he stopped and turned towards this employee that had just come in from outside. And long story short, he began to reprimand this person, this team member, about how they've talked so many times about going outside and getting the carts together, but not spending a lot of time out there, coming in frequently to make sure that they don't need help inside. And it was probably about, I would say, 30 seconds to a minute that this front-end supervisor was reprimanding the team member in front of other people. And there's a lot of reasons why this is just not good business, and certainly is poor leadership. One, I think it really embarrassed the team member, obviously, and probably should have embarrassed the supervisor as well. But I think that it also had a really negative impact on all the customers around. I know that it was very uncomfortable for me, and I really felt like trying to say something to the team member after he walked away. But it was very uncomfortable, and that just reminded me of one of the things that we've talked about several times is one of the golden rules of leadership is praise in public and reprimand in private. And this comes from the book The 1 Minute Manager, and this is several years ago. If you've read this book, probably one of the best books that you can read as a new leader, because it has so many powerful ways for you to behave as a new leader. But we always want to praise in public when possible, because it reinforces the behavior we want to replicate, basically. And we also need to make sure that we reprimand in private. We never want to reprimand a team member in front of other team members, and certainly not in front of customers. And that's something that I think almost anybody that's observing that would say that just is not a good thing to do. You lose so much credibility as a leader. I just wanted to share with you some of the qualities of a good coach. So when we're interacting with team members, obviously we don't want to reprimand them in front of other people, but this is just a list, and we've shared these before. But we need to be patient. We need to be detached from the situation, so we need to lack any emotion and just talk about the person and the behavior that you observed. But we also need to be supportive, and we need to finish those coaching sessions with things like, I know you're capable of doing better, and we've seen you perform better at different times. And then finally, we need to be a good listener. There's part of the coaching process itself isn't about us just telling them what we want to see, but it's asking very powerful, open-ended questions and getting this team member to open up. And so we have to learn how to use open-ended questions and then encourage them and coach them to respond with their thoughts and their ideas. So being a good listener is key. So that's really it this week. I just wanted to share again that experience. I've seen that several times, and it's something that I'm certain that you probably either have or will in certain locations, and it's something that as leaders we just can't afford to lose that credibility by reprimanding people in public. So that's it for this week. I hope you found that helpful, and I hope you have a great day.